Welcome to Simply Explain All, where today we uncover the hidden machinery behind the screens that dominate our daily waking lives. It began with a beautiful promise of connection, bridging vast distances to bring friends and family closer together than ever before. We were told that the world would become a global village, a place where every voice could be heard and shared. In the early days, it felt like magic, sharing moments of joy and triumph with a supportive community of digital friends. But beneath this shiny surface of connectivity, a different kind of architecture was being built, one not designed for your benefit. We walked willingly into a cage because the door was wide open, and the entry fee appeared to be absolutely zero. Joseph, like billions of others, signed the contract without reading the fine print, believing he was simply joining a free platform. We forgot to ask the most important question of the digital age. How do these massive empires sustain their trillion-dollar valuations? The answer lies in the servers humming in the dark, processing not just your photos, but the very essence of your behavior. There is a golden rule in the digital economy that we must never forget. If you are not paying for the product, then you are not the customer. You are the product being packaged, analyzed, and sold to the highest bidder in the market. Enter Marcus, the architect behind the algorithm. He represents the tech giants who view your life as a goldmine of data. Marcus does not care about your social connections. His goal is to extract as much information as possible to build a model. They build a digital voodoo doll of you, predicting your actions before you even take them, knowing your desires before you do. Every private conversation, every location you visit, and every second you hover over an image is recorded and stored forever. They know when you are lonely. They know when you are heartbroken. And they know exactly what to sell you in those moments. Your attention is auctioned off in real-time milliseconds to advertisers who want to exploit your vulnerabilities for their financial gain. It feels like they are listening to your microphone, but the truth is far scarier. Their prediction models are just that accurate. Marcus and his team have the power to manipulate your mood, showing you content that triggers anger, sadness, or desire on command. This constant surveillance and manipulation takes a heavy toll, leading us to the second dark chapter of this digital tragedy. Joseph finds himself trapped in a hall of mirrors, constantly comparing his behind-the-scenes reality with everyone else's highlight reel. The culture of perfection creates a toxic environment where reality is distorted and self-worth is measured in likes and comments. When the likes do not come, Joseph feels a physical pang of rejection, a chemical drop that leads to anxiety and depression. We have become the most connected generation in history, yet we are suffering from an unprecedented epidemic of loneliness and isolation. We curate a digital avatar that is always happy, while our real selves crumble under the pressure of maintaining that false image. Studies show a direct correlation between heavy social media use and skyrocketing rates of anxiety, body dysmorphia, and clinical depression. For young minds still developing, this constant comparison is not just harmful, it is a systematic dismantling of their self-esteem. Why can't Joseph just put the phone down? Because the system is rigged against his willpower by design. Tech companies hire the brightest behavioral psychologists to engineer their apps to be as addictive as slot machines in a casino. Every notification is a dopamine hit, a small chemical reward that trains your brain to constantly crave the next digital interaction. The infinite scroll was invented to remove stopping cues, ensuring you consume content endlessly without ever having a moment to pause. Hours vanish into the void as users fall into a trance state, losing track of time and neglecting their real-world responsibilities. Features like the typing bubbles are designed to keep you glued to the screen, waiting in anticipation for a response. To Marcus, your addiction is simply a metric of success, a guarantee that he has more inventory to sell to advertisers. We have been conditioned like dogs in a lab, responding instantly to the bells and whistles of our digital masters. This addiction is not an accident. It is the fundamental business model that demands your undivided attention 24 hours a day. Beyond personal addiction, these algorithms have a devastating impact on the fabric of our society and our democratic processes. The algorithm learns what you believe and feeds you more of it, trapping you in an echo chamber of confirmation bias. Nuance is lost, and outrage is amplified because angry content generates more engagement and clicks than measured, peaceful discussion. We witnessed how bad actors can weaponize this data to manipulate elections, targeting voters with personalized fear-mongering campaigns. Lies spread 6 times faster than the truth on social media because fiction is often more exciting and emotional than reality. Online polarization spills into the real world, fueling riots, violence, and a deep distrust between neighbors and fellow citizens. The platforms claim neutrality, but their algorithms are designed to prioritize engagement above truth, safety, or social cohesion. But there is a way out. It begins with a moment of realization, a spark of awareness that something must change. Joseph decides he has had enough of being a puppet for Marcus and a prisoner of his own digital device. He takes the first difficult step, deleting the apps that cause him the most distress and turning off all non-essential notifications. He creates physical boundaries, designating phone-free zones in his home and reclaiming his bedroom as a sanctuary for sleep. Stepping outside without a device, he rediscovers the sensory richness of the real world, unmediated by a glowing rectangular screen. He reconnects with friends face to face, discovering that 10 minutes of real conversation is worth more than 10 hours of messaging. In the data center, a signal goes dark. Marcus has lost a user, but Joseph has finally found himself again. His attention span begins to recover, allowing him to focus on books, hobbies, and deep work without the itch of distraction. The brain is plastic. It can heal from the constant overstimulation if given the time and space to rest and reset. It is not about rejecting technology entirely, but about shifting the power dynamic so that you use the tool, not vice versa. We must treat these platforms as utilities to serve our needs, rather than entertainment centers that consume our lives. Real community is built through shared action and physical presence, not through clicks, likes, shares, or viral hashtags. The cage door has always been open. We simply needed the awareness and the courage to walk out of it. Joseph's journey is a reminder that your time and attention are the most valuable resources you will ever possess. Imagine a world where we all look up, engage with our surroundings, and reclaim our autonomy from the algorithm's control. The dark side of social media is powerful, but the light of human consciousness and free will is always stronger. Without your attention, the empire of data crumbles, and the digital puppet masters lose their power over your destiny. So, the next time you feel the urge to scroll, ask yourself, are you using the tool, or is it using you? There is a vast, beautiful, and complex world waiting for you out there, one that cannot be captured in a square frame. Invest your time in moments that become cherished memories, not in digital content that is consumed and forgotten in seconds. It is never too late to break the cycle, to rewrite your habits, and to choose reality over the simulation. Join the movement of digital minimalists who are choosing to live intentionally, protecting their mental health and their privacy. Start small today. Maybe leave your phone in another room for an hour, or delete just one addictive application. Notice the details around you, the play of light, the sounds of nature, the expressions on the faces of loved ones. Sleep better, dream deeper, and wake up refreshed, ready to face the day on your own terms, not the algorithms. Let us rebuild the social fabric with empathy, patience, and genuine connection. creating a network that actually serves humanity. The sun is rising on a new era of digital awareness. The choice to step into the light is yours to make. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the digital darkness and back into the light of the real world. If this video resonated with you, consider this your sign to disconnect for a while and reconnect with yourself. We hope simply explaining this complex trap helps you navigate the modern world with more wisdom and conscious intention. Thank you for watching Simply Explain All. Disconnect from the matrix occasionally, live your real life, and subscribe for more truths. Creativity flourishes in silence and boredom, spaces that social media constantly tries to fill with noise and distraction. Reclaiming your time allows you to master real skills, to create art, and to contribute something unique to the world. Consider writing a letter to a friend instead of sending a text. The effort conveys a depth of care that pixels cannot. The simple act of cooking a meal together creates bonds and memories that no digital notification can ever replicate. Real achievement requires struggle and effort, providing a satisfaction far deeper than the cheap thrill of a viral post. Storytelling is an ancient human tradition that binds generations, a practice we must preserve from being replaced by short clips. In a world screaming for your attention, silence is an act of rebellion. Find your center and guard your peace. Look up at the stars and remember how small our digital dramas are in the grand scheme of the cosmos. Patience is a virtue that digital instant gratification erodes. Relearn the joy of slow progress and tangible results. Embrace discomfort and the elements. They remind you that you are a living, breathing, biological being, not a user profile. Intimacy requires vulnerability and presence, two things that are impossible to achieve when a screen is in between you. Mold your life with the same intention as an artist molds clay, shaping it into something beautiful and unique. Fire was our first television. Return to the primal gathering spots where stories are shared and true bonds are forged. Find your flow state in the physical world, where the only notifications are the sounds of water and wind. Plant seeds today that will grow into a healthier, happier future for yourself and for the generations to come. The machines will keep humming, but you do not have to listen. You have the power to walk away. Unplugging is not about losing connection. It is about restoring the connection to the only reality that truly matters. We evolved for millions of years to read facial expressions and body language, not to decode emojis and text abbreviations. Use it or lose it applies to our social skills. We must practice empathy in conversation to keep our humanity sharp. Education should teach us how to think critically and debate respectfully, skills that are often eroded by algorithmic feeds. We can disagree without being enemies. Real-world interaction humanizes the other, whereas the screen demonizes them. Protecting our democracy starts with protecting our own minds from the subtle influence of targeted political advertising and propaganda. Demand transparency. We have a right to know how our data is used and who is profiting from it. Collective action and legislation are necessary to rein in the unchecked power of these digital monopolies and protect users. We must decide as a society what we value more: the convenience of free services or the sanctity of privacy. The future of technology should be humane, designed to augment human capability rather than exploit human vulnerability. We need a new generation of designers and engineers who prioritize ethics and mental health over engagement metrics and profit. Imagine a platform where you pay a fair price for privacy, and you are the customer, not the product. Decentralized and open-source social networks offer a glimpse of a different path where power is distributed among the users. Digital literacy is essential for all ages. Teach your loved ones how to navigate the digital world safely and skeptically. We must integrate digital hygiene into our education system, preparing the next generation to resist the psychological tricks of tech. Sometimes the best upgrade is not a new phone, but a new relationship with the technology you already own. Try leaving your house without your phone once in a while. The world will not end, and you might feel free. Buy an alarm clock so your phone is not the first thing you touch in the morning and the last at night. Create sacred spaces and times where screens are forbidden, allowing deep conversation and genuine connection to flourish naturally. The eyes are the window to the soul, but a screen is a mirror that only reflects your own ego. Play games that require physical interaction. The laughter shared in a room is infinitely more valuable than a digital LOL. Practice gratitude for what you have in the real world, rather than envying what others pretend to have online. Service to others is the antidote to the narcissism that social media encourages. Look outward, not inward. Ground yourself in reality. Feel the earth beneath your feet and remember that you are part of a living ecosystem. Life is happening right now, in high definition, with no filters, no edits, and no algorithm to curate it. Joseph has reclaimed his life. The question is, are you ready to reclaim yours and step into the real world? If you found value in this explanation, please subscribe to Simply Explain All for more deep dives into complex topics. Check out our other videos to understand the world around you better. Knowledge is the best defense against manipulation. Thank you for watching Simply Explain All. Disconnect from the matrix occasionally, live your real life, and subscribe for more truths.